Okay, guys, welcome to or welcome back. So this is the video that I made my skirt with. So first thing I did was just go through and do some measurements. I'm not sure if I'm measuring myself correctly. So what I also ended up doing was just writing down on a sheet of paper every measurement I could possibly measure for if I was making pants, uh, a top, a skirt, dress. And I have all that on a piece of paper so that I never have to stop and measure myself again. So now what I'm doing is attempting to make a pattern, skirt pattern. So I'm putting down the measurements. Then I realize I'm like, why am I using this measuring tape when I have a ruler right there? But y'all, I have not seen a French curve ruler at Walmart. So I'm just trying to put the curves in there, but they have them on Amazon, and I think that's where I'm gonna have to get it from. I should have got it when I seen it at Walmart one time, and I should have got it, but I wasn't advanced to that point where I was willing to pay what $20 for a French curve ruler. But now I'm there. I'm there. So now what we're doing is we're gonna cut out the pattern, and I folded it up because that little it curving up on me like that was very annoying. I actually ended up putting it under something heavy to like press that curve out. So now I'm just trying to get an idea of what to do. And I'm like, okay, so this is big. So if I do one more, it should cover it, right? It should cover everything. Now I see why they do things in fours, why most seamstress do things in panels of four. So I'm getting my material. This is 2 yards, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. But I had originally bought two of these, so whatever is said in that video, that's what this is right here. So now I'm just straightening it out. Some people say that it's good to press it because you get a more accurate measurement, but I'm not doing all that. I'm just not. Not right now. Not with this $3 material or fabric. So as y'all can see, it's still curling up on me. Like the toes on the Wicked Witch of what was that? The eyes. Anyway. So now I'm just setting these bottles of randomly um, used items to hold stuff down. I see everybody else doing it, so I'm like, okay, this shouldn't be too far-fetched. Shouldn't look too ghetto. But I'm just putting these on here like that. Now, what I realized looking at this now, okay, good, I did. I was going to say that's using up more material than necessary. I should slide it all the way down to the end. There we go. That way we save some room to, for other projects. So now I'm just using my marker, fabric marker, which is supposed to be washable. And I'm on the wrong side of the material, y'all. I should have turned the material the wrong side, facing the wrong side up, because that blue mark was actually on the good side. But since, you wash it, whatever, but it was just throwing me off the whole time. It made the project look like it had been through some things, and it should have been looking like it was coming together, as opposed to like, you're not really getting a good picture of it. Because I would do a little bit, add a little bit to it, and then show my husband, and he would still give me this look like, something's wrong with it. And it's the blue markings that's taking away from the desired look. So some people put pins in there, and I see why they put pins in there, because you want to make sure that you are, not readjusting some stuff as you're cutting. And I'm also giving myself room for seam allowance, I think. I actually did, because this skirt came out rather big. So that's something to think about. But I will definitely work with smaller amounts of material in the future, and I will do it in panels, 4 panels, 2 sides and a front and a back. As you guys can see, my next project is another skirt. Actually, I think I might finish that and make that into a dress, a summer dress, because the color and the material, guys, is so cute. I might be able to insert a small clip. Nah, I ain't gonna do all that. But you'll just see. Just click onto a video which you see me making an orange something, a bright orange. It'll be perfect for summer. But anyway, so now I am laying the fabric beside each other, the ones that I have cut, and I'm just pinning up that seam allowance so that I know where to sew. And then I'm just gonna put some pins in the seam allowance. Now I will say this, I watch other people's tutorials to see how they do it, to get a gist of it, to get an idea of it. But me and patterns, me and following directions, me and my brain just doesn't work with I'm a hands-on learner. I have to get out there in the field and do it. I can look at how you're doing it, and I could be like, okay, I get an idea of how, but I'm going to, just like with nails, when I learned how to do sculptured acrylic nails, I was fully aware that I was putting on the acrylic different from everybody else. But that's just what felt good to me. That's what felt, I don't know, it just felt like that was my way. So I'm not into reinventing the wheel, but I'm definitely into realizing that if one person can invent it and it come out this way, then there's 100 ways to skin a cat. Okay. Everybody learns differently. Everybody expresses themselves differently. And, you know, after a while, I did change some things with my nails because I realized, oh, this is actually helpful. This is actually beneficial. This is what's gonna make them last longer. So like I started going down to the cuticle further. I started, you know, removing the cuticle. That sounds really wild right now, repeating that, but I was just barely wanting to touch my cuticles when I was doing nails. So anyway, so now I am turning on my sewing machine so that I can sew what I have pinned together. And that's just two sides. And after I sew these two sides together, which I love this part, this is so satisfying and relaxing. Again, excuse my table. See what all I gotta go through? I don't know. It's something about.
Can I help you out real quick?
Nope. And I realized that I was doing it wrong that way.
I appreciate you, but no.
So I was like, nope, we're gonna turn it this way. You want the fabric to be on the side of the machine where it has room to bunch up. Not that it should bunch up, but there's more room on that side as opposed to the other side. So you have to take that into consideration when you're putting on zippers and when you're bringing everything together, because you don't want to, it's kind of like, for me, the way how my mind works, it's like mopping the floor. You don't want to mop yourself into a corner. You don't want to sew yourself into a conundrum to where now you have to hand sew the other side of the zipper because you put both the pieces, you know, whatever. Let me know if that makes sense in the comment section. So I'm realizing that
on my wrist
I'm proud of myself because I put the pins in a way where it's not working against me, and I can stitch, then remove the pin, grab the ball, remove the pin. Sometimes I put the pins in the upside down, or not upside down, but on the other side of the fabric and facing the other way, and then it's like awkward because you got to, go under the fabric and try not to stick yourself and remove the pins. So eventually when I get really good, I'll be able to remember this and have this in the back of my mind, and it'll just be like second nature. If I'm stitching this way, then the pins need to go in this way. But somehow I just did that automatically right there, which I don't think I did that again with this project. So you'll see what I'm talking about when I say being inconvenienced with the pins. So now I'm doing my back stitching, release the presser foot. And I just realized that little thing on the side of the machine by the cord, that's another way to release the presser foot. Anyway, so now we are at the table, and that particular mat stretches out longer than the table. So I just have to make some small adjustments. Uh-oh. Okay, I did that intentionally. I didn't know what was going on. So now I'm just showing you what the two pieces look like. And I didn't know what was the front, what was the back. I still don't know to this day. And the zipper's in there. And the project is complete. I still don't know. But anyway, so I'm excited about that because the seam looks really good. So now I'm going back to the sewing machine, and I remember to put the zipper on, although I put the zipper on facing the wrong direction. You want to be able to zip it up from the outside. And y'all, I didn't do that. All I had to do was right here was just flip the zipper over, but I didn't. So hopefully this helps someone to realize their mistake before they do it. But like I said, I knew that the first, probably 10 to 20 garments I make, they're going to have mistakes. They may not be wearable, but I'm still going to be equally as proud of them because, that's what gets you over the hump of being a novice. That's what gets you to the point where it's like, you get confident in your skills. It's just like when I started doing braids, the parts weren't straight. Still, sometimes I struggle with that, or not struggle with it, but I just don't care as much. But the braids just weren't, what's that called? Uniform. Some might be braided over, some might be braided under as far as cornrows. But, after a while I got so good where it's like, oh, who'd you go to? You went to the Africans. Don't be offended if you're African, but that's just like, it's a good thing. Because people, they know that if you've gone to the Africans, they know 2 or 3 things is going to take place. You're going to have to keep an eye on them edges. You paid a pretty penty, and you had got in and got out because about 3 to 4 people was working on your head at one time. So I got to the point where people was asking me like, oh my God, where'd you go? You went to the Africans on 18? And I'm like, nope, I did these myself. And they'd be like, oh, what girl, what? So, and that comes from, again, practice makes perfect. So I don't expect anything less with this project here. So in the future, guys, that orange skirt outfit, dress, whatever, ensemble I'm telling y'all about ahead of time, I don't use this brown paper. Okay, this is the packaging paper that I got from Big Lots. It was opened and it was only $1.87. And until I figure out how to, really work with this, I'm just going to be taping together regular printing paper, taping that together and just cutting off the excess because I'm not finna do this with this paper, trying to make these patterns. I'm just not. So now I'm just cutting and giving myself seam allowance, but not too much. Not too much. We don't want what happened to the dress. The dress ended up size, 20 to 22. And I had to put so many darts in there in the dress until it was actually like a little bit more form-fitting. So now I'm putting pins in there, and we're going to take this to the sewing machine. And I know those are kitchen scissors right there, y'all. I recently upgraded my scissors to some $9.99, whatever, scissors from Walmart that are actually fabric scissors. So now I'm showing you guys, I put the pins in correctly again, good for me. And this is the other side. So one thing I learned recently, just to keep the talking going, one thing I learned recently is I hadn't been paying attention to the tension on the bobbin and the tension on the thread, the top needle. So now I'm using my mannequin. Yes, Tony, I actually use the mannequin. So I'm draping this that I already have on here to get a better idea of how it's going to fit, how it's going to fall. And my mannequin, she ain't been doing no squats. Okay. So it's kind of, I need some padding back there to kind of really get, and the mannequin is okay. I was gonna say she's my size. She's 12 to 14, but I think that's what my husband got. I don't remember. Yeah, this is a medium-sized mannequin. I guess I should have got a large. I don't know, but so now I'm just seeing, and I should have known because I don't know. I'm just gonna be patient with myself. I wish I would have put the zipper in after I had done something better to the top, but that's just, looking back. Hindsight is 2020. Yeah, I just love my natural hair. It's growing. It's been a full year since I chopped off all my relaxed ends. My hair used to be down my back. But I love that. Okay, so now let me stick to the video at hand. But I love that my hair is able to just, be as it grows out of my scalp. So now I'm realizing that it's kind of big. And I'm questioning, I'm like, how do I get the knee part to get smaller? But I'm still excited. You see that little smirk on my face. I'm like, I'm doing something. I'm doing something. Watch out, Calvin Klein. So I'm stitching that down. Now, back to the tension bobbin. So if your thread breaks frequently, you might want to check your tension bobbin. You might want to check the material of your thread. I just realized that there's a difference in sewing thread, polyester thread, and so on and so forth. So, and organic thread, like, I think we're using that word organic a little too freely, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So, what am I doing? What you doing, girl? Okay, so now I'm trying to do the other side of the zipper, and I realize that I'm doing a really good job, y'all, keeping up with all them pins, because I do not want them pins sticking me. I don't want them on my floor. Like, that's one of my fears and pet peeves. But, being that you're an adult, that we're adults, we should be able to keep up with our pins. Let me stop. I don't want nobody to be offended by that, but it's like if you take one out, immediately put it back. Just the thought of it going in my foot is like enough to get me to keep up with my pins. So now I'm just stitching this other side through here. And at this point, y'all, I very much realized that the zipper was on there the wrong way, but I was committed. As my daughter says, I was locked in. So I just continued along. And next time I would, put a hem in there and the top part and then the zipper. So now you see I'm just like rearranging where I put the zipper at. It's a little bunched up. It's not as straight as it could be, but look at that. Look at all that extra material. Anyway, I'm loving it. I'm excited. You can tell. So there will be no more projects made with this particular fabric. Now that I know where to purchase, what to look for, and I want the I think it's called Ponte fabric material. It's more like a scuba. It's more like a polyester and cotton blend. It's stretchable, but it still has, some structure to it. And by some structure, I mean like it's like supportive. I don't want that legging material, making a dress out of, LuLaRoe. Anyway, I love their leggings. I love their leggings. They're not leggings that you can exercise in because you're not getting the support you need. But anyway, so now I am seeing how it's coming together. And what is this? What am I doing? Okay, so in this segment, I'm using my rotary cutter, and I'm going to do like a hem over the top of it. I ain't watched nobody's videos. I don't, where you get this idea from, I don't know. But I knew I had to seal that frayed raw edge because it was just taking away from the garment. So then I'm gonna put my pins in there. And this you want to take your time with because there was a little part where it kind of like raised up and it wasn't, the hem wasn't on there. So yeah, so what was I saying? I need to get a French curve ruler. I need to get one of those, it's like scissors, but I want to say they keep the material from coming apart, and you just do it. You can either add a regular hem at the bottom or you can clip it with that. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comment section. I want to say they're chippers, or they got like a zippy name. I don't know. It's a catchy name, but it ain't too catchy because I ain't caught it. So now I'm just trying on the skirt, trying it on. This is after putting the seal on the top part, okay? And adding some darts. Y'all see the darts? I added some darts to take away some of that fabric. So I learned the importance of darts because, like I said, my favorite dresses, the ones that fit, that are complimentary, they have darts in them. And I never knew what they were. I never really paid attention. I just knew that some dresses had them and some dresses didn't. And so now I'm just going cuckoo with the darts. And I've even put some in and now I've added that to the bottom, to the back, y'all.
Done with this skirt.
So I really appreciate y'all taking time out to watch. I think I'm a designer. I'm ready to start calling Kohl's and seeing if Kohl's want to sell my stuff on the rack, y'all.
I'm making a video.
I know it don't really look, but I'm just excited.
So many ideas.
Look at that. Look at that.